Welcome to the Shot Clock, where we're talking sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat, and we're 100% digital, 100% live, and 100% real. Let's count them down. Welcome to the Shot Clock. It's our digital sports show. I'm Mina SayWhat, your host. Happy Memorial Day. Today, we honor all our fallen veterans and obviously people who are serving in the military. So we appreciate you today, and we thank you for watching us live wherever you may be watching us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or Twitch. I want to bring in my brother Sean Bell on this Memorial Day. Thank you for coming through on a holiday. You see the dedication.
Of course, different background. I'm at the family's house kicking it, you know what I mean? We're going to grill out a little bit. Even though it's kind of cold in these streets, we still going to get it done. You know what I mean? Some good eating.
Absolutely. Look, the unofficial start of summer has not started because it's been terrible. It's rainy, cold. But where the cookout at, though? Can I come through? Can I get a little hot dog or a turkey burger?
It's in North Jersey, you know what I mean? Home. So
okay.
I don't know if you're going to make that trip.
I'll drive up to 95 for some food, okay? Let's set that shot clock because that's what we do. Trying to get it all in. And before the buzzer rings, let's get into the playbook. This is our top Philly stories of the week. Of course, our Sixers are leading the Wizards in the playoffs 3-0. Congratulations. We like it. Playing beautiful basketball. Our guy Joel Embiid scored a playoff career high of 36 points in the last game. Congratulations to him. Our guys are doing excellent, in my opinion. This is beautiful basketball we're playing. Joel is averaging 29 points in this series. Tobias, 25 points. Ben, 14 points in this series. But Ben is also averaging 9.7 rebounds, more than any other player out there, more than Dwight, more than Joel. And he's averaging 10.7 assists in this series. How do you see our guys playing right now, Sean?
I mean, they're playing great basketball. I mean, they're playing against a inferior team, and it's not even close. Like this Wizards team isn't really a playoff team, especially with Bradley Beal coming in limping a little bit. So they're doing what they're supposed to do, right? It's one of those things. I'm not surprised. They're playing a team who's the 8th seed who is hurt and shouldn't be close to this team. They're doing what they're supposed to do, an easy sweep. It's going to be an easy road to the Eastern Conference Finals, like I said, okay? There's only 3 teams. We've discussed this all year in the East, okay? It's Milwaukee, it's Brooklyn, it's the Sixers. Everyone else is really a joke, all right? So everything is a tune-up until the Eastern Conference Finals.
I will say after the first game, I was a little worried because I didn't think we played the best in the first game, but I think we've definitely kicked it up a notch in the past couple of games. Now, you and I have gone back and forth about this. Do you now see us headed and winning the conference title, and do you see us going to the finals?
I don't know yet. Listen, I had a realization yesterday for the first time, actually, that the Sixers could win a championship. It was the first time it really hit me. And
we're getting there.
and listen, this may be unfair, but it's more about the other teams. Everyone around the league is either hurt or dealing with a situation where someone's in and out of the lineup. Anthony Davis, you saw, is out of the Phoenix Suns game. Who knows if he plays the next game? He's going to be day to day. The Nuggets are missing Jamal Murray, their star point guard. Dante DiVincenzo, Villanova dude, salute, is out for the rest of the season.
Luka is playing with a strained neck or something like that.
Luka's dealing with the neck. The Brooklyn Nets have Jeff Green out, and James Harden and KD have had a history this season of being injured. So if everyone is injured, in the Sixers, imagine this. The Sixers are healthier than everyone else in the league. Whoever thought that would be the case, being the injuries that they've had their entire careers, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. They are healthier than everybody else. They have better chemistry than everybody else. So this is the best chance that I think they're ever going to have, especially with all the injuries around the league.
I'm so proud of you, Sean, because you have not been trusting the process lately.
Listen,
now I feel like you're getting on board here.
I still think a healthy Brooklyn is winning it all. But again, health is a problem for everyone but us right now. So it's a real chance.
All right. Speaking of health, Russell Westbrook got a popcorn shower in Game 3 at home. While he was limping off of the court, he was injured. A fan decided to show out. Watch this.
Come out and boo, yell all you want. We encourage that. This is just plain stupidity. Somebody pouring some popcorn, and any athlete, being Westbrook or whomever, they are pumped with their adrenaline.
Russell woke up that day and chose violence. what was your initial reaction? First of all, shout out to John the guard, the Sixers security guard, getting shoved by Joel there. What were your thoughts to this, Sean?
Hey, Russell didn't choose violence. Like, they chose violence, right? Like, it's unbelievable the type of entitlement fans have in general, right? And Philadelphia wonders why they had this reputation of being bad fans, because there's too many examples of things like this, of them doing something to a player. It's an absolute problem that even a player would do that, and that the fans wouldn't self-check someone for doing that. All right, say, hey, listen, if anybody does this around us, we're going to handle it. The security ain't got to handle it, because that's what has to happen. These players feel like they can do whatever they want to these players, and it's such an intimate setting, right? Like, I think Russell Westbrook should be able to go one-on-one with that guy. Hey, I bet you wouldn't do that if you were right in my face.
Right. I will say, when I initially saw this, it's just disrespectful for any fan to do this to anyone, right? I mean, to your point, you would not walk down the street and do this to someone. So why would you do it in this setting? But I think with Russell, there's kind of another angle to this, where Russell is just not liked here. And there's been multiple incidents where, he is not the most liked player. I think his attitude has a lot to do with it, the way that he carries himself. Sean, do you remember the double bird? Let's rewind time and watch the double bird right now, okay?
Just inside the foul line and continued as the fan walks into Philadelphia.
So did you ever hear that guy do his interview? Do you know why he gave him the double finger?
Yes. So
he was booing Russell. Russell told him to sit your fat ass down, right? So I think it's built up this thing where we as a family just don't like him. I mean, even in game one, they were chanting F you Westbrook.
Mina, stop it. Like, we're victim blaming right now. Like, we can't do that. Right? Like, this fan, first of all, do you think this fan was just booing and Russ noticed him alone? No, the fan probably said some ridiculous things, maybe some racist things, maybe some other things, and then Russell responds. Everyone in the crowd boos Russell. He just doesn't notice one guy and say, I'm going to go after that guy. Let's think about why we hate Russell Westbrook. Why would Philadelphia hate Russell Westbrook? Because he plays hard, and he's ride or die for his team and his team only. Isn't that qualities you should love from anyone? From anyone? And on top of that, as a person, Russell Westbrook, has he ever been in any type of TMZ situation? Has he ever been in any type of legal situation? No. He's a great dude off the court. He just goes hard on the court. So you should never personally disrespect me off of a game. Let the players on the court go back and do different things. You, on the other hand, as a fan who have nothing to do with it, stop it.
Yeah. Well, the NBA has released a statement. They've banned this fan for life, and this is the statement that they released. They said the return of more NBA fans to our arenas have brought great excitement and energy to the start of the playoffs, but it is critical that we show respect for players, officials, and our fellow fans. An enhanced code of conduct will be vigorously enforced in order to ensure a safe and respectful environment for those involved. Now, part of this enhanced code of conduct is you get banned for life. Is this too much for this young man who poured popcorn on Russell Westbrook?
No, it's not enough. They should be banned for life, and fans should have beat that man up.
You chose violence. You woke up and chose violence.
Because think about this, Mina. How else do you solve a situation like this? Like, because it keeps happening. And Philadelphia fans continue to say, oh, other places are the same way. And, oh, it was just popcorn, right? Like, we're allowing this behavior to continue to happen. If these individuals knew that it wasn't going to be allowed by their own people, it would be harder for them to do it. They would think twice, 3 times, and actually not do it. So you need to get banned, and you need to get chin checked.
Dollar Bill, shout out to him on YouTube, said that wasn't a fan. It was a troublemaker. Don't keep blaming Philly for this when it happens everywhere. So, I mean, yeah, that's a really good point. You know, it isn't just happening here. It's happening everywhere. This is a problem around the league. You know, the Knicks fan spat at Trae Young from the Hawks. A bottle was thrown at Kyrie Irving. Again, I don't think this should be allowed. I understand the lifetime ban because the NBA is saying we're not going to tolerate this in the very least. You know, I don't understand the calls for like assault charges and stuff like that. I think that's taking it too far, but I do think it's completely and utterly disrespectful for you to spit at anyone, whether it's a basketball player or not, especially during COVID. Like, come on, bro. What's
Nah,
wrong with you?
I want lower level assault charges. I don't
Yeah,
care.
You're one of those?
No, because I would say if Russell Westbrook was able to retaliate, fine, no charges. But you can't just do something to me when I'm at such a vulnerable state. That's assault. Knowing I can't do anything back and harming me, whatever it is, popcorn, water bottles, whatever. Like whatever hits me could scratch me in a way where I can't play, hit me in the eye, whatever. I don't care that was just popcorn.
Look, okay, you're entitled to your opinion. I think assault is too much, but I do agree with the vulnerability part of it. This man is limping off the court as a human being. Have a little bit of respect. He's limping off of the court. This is not when you throw popcorn at him. I understand that fans get passionate, but you have to also be respectful and understand this is a human being that you're dealing with. So I do understand that the NBA is taking like a very strong approach to this, and I agree with it. This is what Kyrie Irving had to say about a bottle being thrown at him. This is his take on it.
It's unfortunate, that sports has come to a lot of this, kind of crossroads where you're seeing a lot of old ways come up. It's been part of that. It's been that way in history in terms of entertainment and performers in sports for a long period of time, and just underlying racism and just treating people like they're in a human zoo, throwing stuff at people, saying things. There's a certain point where it just gets to be too much. So, I called it out. I just wanted to keep it strictly basketball. And then you just see that people just feel very entitled out here. They pay for the tickets. Great. I'm grateful that they're coming in to watch a great performance. But it's just, we're not at the theater. We're not throwing tomatoes and other random stuff at the people that are performing. It's too much. And it's a reflection on, us as a whole when you have fans acting like that. So, hopefully people learn their lessons from being banned for however many years of being arrested, but there's always going to be an occasion.
He's definitely brought a different side of it. When you start looking at it as a whole, and the racial connotations here, I really appreciate Kyrie for even vocalizing that and bringing that to the forefront. Because sometimes we look at things in isolated incidents, right? Oh, it was just popcorn, But when you start really analyzing the bigger picture, it's like, okay, we understand where he's coming from and where other people are coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I said this on my radio show right after. Listen, this like they treat these players like they're animals in a zoo. Right? Like they can poke and prod and say whatever they want for their entertainment just because they paid a couple dollars, right? Like there's no respect. They don't treat them. It's like the old days of the Coliseum, right? And that's a problem if we continue to let that happen. If as a society we shrug it off and say it was just popcorn, it was just this, or it was just that, or no big deal. If there aren't harsh repercussions for this, it's going to continue to happen. And one day, what if Kyrie Irving gets hit in the eye with that cup? What if someone throws a glass? Like one day it's going to be something serious, and then we're all of a sudden we're going to say, "Oh my gosh, we can't let this go on." Well, we should have checked it when we had the chance to check it, which is now.
Right. Meanwhile, Carson Wentz looks really happy. The new Colts quarterback was having a grand old time playing with his teammates. A little team building activity. Let's watch what was going on in Indy. Why did we care about this so much? Why?
Because Philly's obsessed with Carson Wentz. They're obsessed with everything he does. They hate him with a passion. So they everything he does, they're going to analyze. But what it reminded me of is what happens when you get out of a toxic relationship and you find a new relationship. That's what this reminds me of. The happiness, the glee that he has right now with being with a team that doesn't feel like a toxic situation. Good for him. I know Philly doesn't agree with me, but good for him.
we'll see when he starts playing if he, if he goes back to his old baby crying ways,
Look at the hate.
Look,
Look at the hate.
it's
You
all
can't
good
just
in the beginning.
look at the hate. You know what I mean? You just can't enjoy your ex being in a good relationship.
Bye, boy. That wraps up the playbook. Let's get to a word from one of our sponsors.
Stop overpaying for wireless. Switch to Boost Mobile and watch your bill drop. Plans starting at $10 a month that match your data needs. Think your phone company can get down like that? Get started for as low as $10 a month. All on America's largest 5G network for less. Boost Mobile.
Welcome back to the Shot Clock. It's our digital sports show. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat, Sean Bell, podcaster and sportscaster, joining me. We got to run through these trending stories real quick, okay? So everyone's been talking about J. Cole and the Basketball Africa League. They say new levels, new devils. J. Cole was minding his business, trying to get into, his new role and his new job as a pro basketball player. And the top Basketball African League scorer named Terrell Stogelin had this to say. For a guy who has so much money and has another career to just come here and average like 1 point a game and still get glorified is very disrespectful to the game. It's disrespectful to the ones who've sacrificed their whole lives for this. The positive side of it is it brings a lot of attention and I guess money. I don't really pay attention to that type of stuff. I'm more concerned that he took someone's job that deserves it. Why would you hate on J. Cole like this?
I mean,
this makes no sense to me. This sounds to me like such hater talk.
No, it makes sense. He's wrong because it brings all the attention that he needs in order to get there. But he's thinking about, hey, I have a friend who is dead broke right now, who's been working years and years and years for opportunity to be seen, to play in a professional league, and he has to stay at home, and that spot has been taken by someone who doesn't deserve to be there. Like, so I get why he's upset, but in a business aspect, J. Cole is needed, right? So for him, he's thinking about his individual friends who are missing out of an opportunity and given to somebody who doesn't really deserve to be there. So I get why he's upset, but he's not thinking about the business aspect.
Right. And that's my thing. I think you're entitled to feel this way, especially when this is something you've been doing your whole life and you see someone kind of just coming in here and playing around with it. I understand that aspect of it, but what I don't understand is him going to ESPN, to the media, to say this. Like, what was your end goal here? And
they asked him. It's not like he went there. They asked him.
But you can politically just say, I get that, but you could politically just say, hey, there are some guys sitting at home that, would have liked to be in the league, but I understand that that J. Cole is bringing media and, some buzz, some very needed PR to the league. So I thank you for making people aware of our league. Like, I just felt like this is such a hating thing to say. I just didn't like it at all, especially when J. Cole is out here giving his teammates gifts and sneakers courtesy of Puma. Watch this.
11? Yeah, y'all got a hoop in them.
Is Terrell doing that for his team?
He's broken trying to have an opportunity to make more money. Like,
come on,
listen, we could disagree, but it's not hater. It's I understand his mindset and saying I needed an opportunity and someone else took it away from me because that didn't deserve it. I get it. I get his bitterness. If someone's broke at home and needs that opportunity to feed family and to get seen, they're going to be a little upset about that. Right. But again, they're not thinking about the overall business picture. So I still salute J. Cole for doing that. I think it was the right thing for that business to do, but I could see why some people will be bitter.
Well, shortly after this, J. Cole announced that he's retiring from the Africa League. The statement went viral. He said he was leaving the league due to family obligations. That is a quote. He was initially contracted to play up to 6 games, and he left after only playing 3. He recorded 5 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists in 45 total minutes of action. I don't think this is a family obligation. I think J. Cole probably felt bad after reading that statement and was like, okay, let me step down and give this opportunity to somebody else who might need it more.
I think his game felt bad. He knew he didn't
You
deserve to be there.
You
So
ain't nothing.
his game, you know what I mean? Like he probably agrees with the individual. So he did what he came to do. Tried out and played, gave the league some shine and some money, and now get someone in there who probably needs to be looked at by some NBA scouts. So he
Right.
did what he accomplished. Now, if he played well and felt like he deserved to be there, he was playing well enough to be there, then he would have stayed.
Yeah, I just really tip my hat off to someone that is willing to pursue their goals. And, he's what, 33 years old, I think, for him
He's
to step
36.
36 years old to step into another career and try something out that he's wanted to do since he was a kid. I think that's remarkable in itself. He tried it. He did his best. He did what he did what he could do and then bowed out. And now he can get back to being the rap god. Okay. Wrapping up what's trending. Naomi Osaka was fined $15,000 for skipping media obligations. She skipped a news conference after her first round victory at the French Open on Sunday. This drew very harsh warnings from all 4 Grand Slam tournaments that said she could face stiffer penalties, including disqualification and even suspension if she continues to avoid the media. This is the statement that she put out before skipping her media obligations. Very lengthy. It basically says, I've often felt that people have no regard for athletes' mental health, and this rings very true whenever I see a press conference or partake in one. We're often sat there and asked questions that we've been asked multiple times before, or ask questions that bring doubt into our minds, and I'm not just going to subject myself to people that doubt me. There's a mental health conversation right now. She doesn't feel like her mental health is being respected. However, these media obligations are in these contracts that they signed regarding playing these tournaments. Do you think it's disrespectful for her mental health to be ignored at this point, for her to be fined for trying to keep her mental health and do what she needs to do to keep her mind right?
I mean, I think they sort of have to uphold that. Listen, I agree with her 100%, and I like her doing this to make a statement. Now she knows she can't do this for very long because, the part of the reason everyone makes a lot of money is because access is given. It's because of media events and all that stuff. So they're gonna follow the money, and that's why you're gonna have to do these interviews. But she made a statement. I think that's all she wanted to do. Hey, I'm gonna pull your coattail and check you a little bit, and then she'll find another way, another route to check these reporters, because reporters and media members, just like fans, have a lot of entitlement issues. They feel like they can do and say and get away with anything they want with these athletes, and these players are starting to check them. So I salute what she's doing, but after this, she's gonna have to take another route.
Yeah, I agree with her. And I do think that it's very hard sometimes for them to sit in these post-game conferences, especially if you've won or you've lost. Like think about winning and then you go and sit in a conference and you have reporters pulling apart everything that you didn't do well. Like, I just won. What? Get out. Don't kill my vibe, or losing and then having reporters rub it in your face as to why you lost. Like, mentally, she might not be there to be able to handle that. That requires a certain level of mental toughness. So if she hasn't built that up yet as a young tennis player in this game, dealing with all this massive success and winning all these titles, I think she has every right to do what she needs to do to keep her mental health. I just think it's unfortunate that I feel like she's kind of being forced into having to fulfill these obligations, because what they don't want to do is set that standard where other people can do the same.
So it's all about the money.
In a hard place.
It's all about the money. They make a lot of money because of the amount of access they give the public, and the reason why she makes so much and the media members make so much is because of it. So it's a balance that you have to find of checking these people, but at the same time doing a little bit. Like normally what players do, and when she becomes a veteran, she's gonna know, I'm not gonna talk to the ones I don't like, or I'll give them short answers and I'll elaborate with the ones I do like. That's what she's gonna end up doing. Hey, how'd you do? Fine. Next.
So,
she's gonna Marshawn Lynch him.
As a sportscaster, who gives you short answers?
Everybody good with me. Right? So I'm not one of those entitled media members. So they all will elaborate with me. But I see who they're short with.
Okay. All right, let's get into the plays this week. Our Sixers should wrap this up. Shout out to our digital guy, Wiso. He said this should be 4-0, a sweep. Hopefully we can sweep today. If not, we are back at the Wells Fargo Center on Wednesday. And then ultimately, it looks like we will be taking on the Hawks in the semifinals because the Knicks are stinking it up right now. So, I mean, I really like that you've been positive today, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
you're positive about our teams today.
I have to be. The Wizards stink. It's a sweep. The Hawks, they look good because they're playing the Knicks, but they stink. They're not a real playoff team. They'll beat them in 5 games. So, you know what I mean? It's easy money. We just waiting for the Eastern Conference Final and who they play there.
Hopefully we'll play the Bucks. That wraps up. Back to some of our previous shows. Thank you for watching the Shot Clock, Sean Bell. I appreciate you for coming through on Memorial Day, even though you're with your family. Sportscaster, podcaster. Follow him on social media. He's very opinionated. Sean Bell Live. Okay. Happy Memorial Day to all the veterans and all the veteran families. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching. I'm Mina SayWhat. We will talk to you next Monday, 12 o'clock here on the Shot Clock. Thanks for watching the Shot Clock. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat, and you got something you want to talk about next week? You can always hit me up on social media at Mina SayWhat, and make sure you join us 12 o'clock next Monday on R&B Philly's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll see you then.